is Adrienne. I've been paired with you for this study, huh? Gosh, this is so weird. You're not in my Psych 1 class, but I have to sign up for a study. You're not a student here, are you? No, see, that's why there are a lot of, students here, doing the studies, because in Psych 1, which is a huge class, we have to sign up to participate in a research study with the psych department and write about it. And it sort of happens randomly. All I knew about this was that you're supposed to answer questions, but I didn't know that you're supposed to be partnered with someone and talk about this stuff. And they didn't give us the questions till after we had signed the informed consent, so I guess I'm stuck answering some super personal questions with you. Hope I'm not too boring. Alright, let's just get this done. Okay, so I guess there are 36 questions, and then something at the end. I don't know, we'll get to it. Set 1, question 1. Given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest? Okay, a writer. I know it would have to be a writer. Writers are always interesting people, and I read a lot, so who would be an interesting writer to talk to? Douglas Adams? Whoever could write the sort of comedic genius that is Hitchhiker's Guide has to be an interesting person to talk to. Or for a more pretentious answer, I guess, J.D. Salinger, because he was kind of a recluse, right? He wrote a few books and then sort of ran away to his little cabin in the woods. I don't know how much you know about his Catcher in the Rye, and anyway, who would you want as a dinner guest? That's a pretty good answer. Cool. Okay, number 2. Would you like to be famous, and in what way? Nah. I don't want to walk down the street and have people know who I am. If I work on something and people know the thing I worked on, then I'm okay with that, you know? Like if I ever write a book, I'm totally publishing under a pen name because I don't want people to know who I am. But if I write something and it's a bestseller, you know, like Lemony Snicket had the right idea. People know his real name, but still. It's relatively unknown, and a lot of authors with pen names end up just going unknown, and they could be your next door neighbor for all you know. What about you? Alright, before making a telephone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say and why? Rehearse? Really? Okay, I can see it. For I've had a couple phone interviews that I've done, and I've gone over my resume before picking up the phone, or if I'm making a really important phone call or something, I'll sort of summarize what I have to say. But I feel like if I'm rehearsing things, if I'm spouting word for word, it just doesn't feel real to me. For me, it's uncomfortable. But that's why I've never been into theater. What about you? Number 4. What would constitute a perfect day for you? Oh gosh, back home there's this grassy spot by the river that I would always go to after school, and I would lie in the sunshine and read just all day after school. That was my favorite way to procrastinate doing my homework. Um, oh, no, continue. Sorry. I do want to hear what you have to say. Number 5. When did you last sing to yourself and to someone else? In the car on the way over here. I normally don't sing in the car, but do you know the song Mr. Brightside by the Killers? It came on the radio, and I can never resist singing to that song. And to someone else, oh god. The other day I was trying to remind my friend how the Scooby-Doo theme song went, and so I ended up kind of singing it to them to jog their memory. It's stupid. Someone else? If you were able to live to the age of 90 and retain either the mind or body of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life, which would you want? Oh, God. I mean, it depends on what you mean by mind, right? Because if I'm going to live till 90, I want to be as wise as a 90-year-old person. So if mind means wisdom, then I'm keeping my 30-year-old body, whatever it looks like when that happens. But if mind means like cognitive stuff, like I want to be able to think on my feet, I don't want to have dementia, so then I'm fine with aging. I don't really care. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, 7. Do you have a secret hunch about how you'll die? I mean, my grandmother had cancer, so probably that. This question's so morbid. Oh, this one's a little better. 3 things you and your partner appear to have in common. You're pretty straightforward, but okay, so you're straightforward, but you're still thoughtful. And you actually care about things that are important, like for the health. The first question, anyone in the world. I mean, I assume that's dead or alive because I realize the people I picked are dead. Like, so many of the kids I grew up with would have just gone with whoever the hot celebrity of the moment is, Justin Bieber or whoever. And I like that you're not like that. What do you like about me? Mm-hmm. Why do they have us answer these questions? For what in your life do you feel most grateful? God, luck. That's all I can boil it down to. I've never had money troubles in my family. I've never dealt with social drama or traumatic experiences or anything. I've just been lucky, I guess. What about you? Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Number 10. If you could change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be? Oh my god. Parents. Definitely my parents. up, they were always either arguing with each other or completely absent, or mom would be heading out and be like, okay, dinner's on the table, help yourself. It would have been nice to have a real family. My ex had a real family, the guy I dated when I was in high school, so I think I had more family dinners with him than I had with my own family. What about you? Yeah, that kind of sucks. Okay. 11. Take a few minutes and tell your partner your life story with as much detail as possible. Oh my god. Okay, so I told you a little bit about my parents. I'm an only child, so it's not like I had anyone else around the house. My parents were always busy. When I was little, my grandmother helped out a lot in raising me, but then eventually she couldn't live on her own, and our house wasn't big enough, so she moved in with my aunt who lives out of state. So I didn't really see her that much after that. I've always kind of preferred books to people, honestly. I didn't really have friends until I was in middle school. At least not like consistently, Like I would have people I kind of got along with, but mostly a loner. And then high school sucked. High school, my parents divorced. My grandmother died. She, like I said, cancer, lymphoma. And I had my first relationship, which was nice. He had a really nice family, but with him, things were really messy. Just didn't work out. So now I'm glad in college, starting over, I can decide the way the rest of my life's gonna go. What about you? Whole life story. Oh, okay. And that's pretty much present day. If you could wake up tomorrow having gained any one quality or ability, what would it be? Like a superpower? Because, like, if I get a superpower, I'd want to be invisible. Okay, I guess quality or ability, probably counting realistic things too, but I still want to be. Yeah, that's a good one too. Okay, 13. If a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, your future, or anything else, what would you want to know? Gosh, well, I did just pick my major, graphic design, so it would be nice to know if I'm actually going to be doing that in 10 years, or if I'll be doing something else entirely. Because if I'm going to be, like, I don't know, working in some sort of business or law or whatever else, biology, who knows, I could just major in that instead, Makes sense to major in the thing that you actually end up doing with your life. What about you? Okay. Is there something that you've dreamed of doing for a long time, and why haven't you done it? Oh god. Yeah, writing a novel. Always wanted to. I have a friend who writes a lot, and she does this thing every November where it's called National Novel Writing Month, and it's ridiculous because it's 50,000 words and you write it in a whole month. And I guess I just don't really have that $1,000,000 idea yet. Like, I don't know what I would even write about. I just want to write. 15. What is the greatest accomplishment of your life? God, I'm so young. Getting into a good college is the greatest accomplishment, and when I graduating will be the greatest accomplishment, you know. Anyway, if I hopefully get a good job at a good place, like, I'd love to work for Pixar someday, you know. What about you? Cool. What do you value most in a friendship? Someone with passions, hobbies, interests, whatever. Just gotta love talking about something. Yes, I don't know. I like listening to people talk about things that they're passionate about. Okay. What's your most treasured memory? This is gonna sound so cliche, but prom night, but not prom itself. Prom sucked, but when we had dinner before we went to prom, it's just sort of like family run Italian place, you know. But it was all of us. It was like all of my friends, all of these people who I have been hanging out with for years, all in one place. It was probably one of the last times we were, aside from graduation, all in one place. And because we were all dressed up, it was like, I guess it kind of felt like we were adults already, you know? Like, in high school, everyone wants to be an adult. At that point, we were looking so close to graduation and all going to different colleges. It felt like we were already having that kind of adult life of going out to restaurants and dressing up all fancy. What about you? That's nice. What is your most terrible memory? Not getting to see my grandmother in the hospital before she died. She was kind of the only person in my family I've ever been super close to, I guess. But it was close to finals, and we'd been planning on going to visit her when summer got out. But she died before we could go. Like, we were there for the funeral, but I would have liked to say goodbye, What about you? Let's just get through this and get to the happy stuff. Gosh, I'm so sorry. 19. If you knew in 1 year you would die suddenly, would you change anything about the way you're living now? My first thought is like, well, that's my novel idea, right? Actually, that's a pretty good idea. Yeah, I think that's what I'd do because, like I said, it's the thing I've always wanted to do. And then, boom, you have an idea for what to write about because you're gonna die. So just write about what it's like knowing that you're gonna die. I don't know. What would you do? Yeah, that makes sense. What does friendship mean to you? That's cheesy. I guess just people who make each other's lives better. Like, it doesn't have to be anything deep, you know? It could be something as simple as the kid you play basketball with. I don't play basketball. What do you think? Number 21. What roles do love and affection play in your life? Gosh, took me a long time to be okay with it. I mean, like I told you, I was never really close with my parents. There was a lot of arguing, so I never liked being around them. But when I was in 7th grade, this girl, Mia, she just decided that we were friends. And I had no say in it. And she was like, you gotta come hang out with us during lunch now because you're my friend now. And she'd done something. I don't fully remember what it was, but basically, like, she was gonna get in trouble. And she was like, you're not gonna tell on me, are you? And I was like, no. Why would I do that? And then she just decided that meant we were friends. And she's the most loving, affectionate person I know. She's always like she greets you by hugging you and tackling you to the ground. So, yeah, like, we've been basically best friends since then, and I don't know, I guess I kind of like it. Like, I've never gotten that from anyone else. Alternate sharing something you consider a positive characteristic of your partner. Share a total of 5 items. Okay, you go first. I like that you're open-minded. I like that you're independent. I like that you're honest. I like that you're like really smart. Seriously, not just like memorizing facts and stuff. Okay, and you're a really good listener. 23. How close and warm is your family? Do you feel like your childhood was happier than most other people's? Um, yeah, I feel like you probably know the answer to this. We felt more like housemates than like a family, aside from my grandmother, who felt like I imagined like a grandmother should feel. Like, she kind of spoiled me, and she would tell me stories and all this stuff. But I kind of got that closeness and warmth from friends, you know, so that helped a lot, especially since, you know, after my grandmother passed. Anyway, as for my childhood, I mean, it was average, I guess. We didn't face hardship, but I didn't have like loads and loads of love and connection. So, what about you? 24. How do you feel about your relationship with your mother? Kind of wish we were closer, even though I feel like we have nothing in common. We do have things in common, and I just don't know that we do because we're not that close. What about you? three we statements. And since we are both in this room feeling like we are both being very vulnerable right now, I think about my mother. I don't know that I've told that to anyone, you know. We are both thinking very deeply about this. And we're both often solitary. Just like I know I'm that way. I get that kind of vibe from you. So, what do you think? Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. 26. Complete this sentence. I wish I had someone with whom I could share blank. I wish I had someone with whom I could share my thoughts. I'm more used to listening than speaking. Share. I had a hunch you'd say something like that. 27. If you were going to become a close friend with your partner, please share what would be important for him or her to know. I don't usually talk about or act and do things, I guess, unless I'm invited to. Like, I don't know, this experiment is so far out of my comfort zone. But somehow it feels okay with you. I don't know, maybe part of it is like, I know we're just gonna go our separate ways after this and we're not gonna be pressured to see each other again. Like, I mean, we totally could. I feel like I said, I've told you things I haven't told anyone. But, I don't know. Really? 28. Tell your partner what you like about them. Be very honest this time, saying things you might not say to someone you've just met. You're really kind and genuine, open, and I feel like I could learn a lot from you. I mean, we could learn a lot from each other. Gosh, this is weird. I don't normally feel like I want to connect with people. Maybe it's just this vulnerability. I kind of hate that they keep asking us to compliment each other. Not that I don't like complimenting you, I just am not used to taking it. Okay. 29. Share with your partner an embarrassing moment in your life. Oh god. This one happened pretty recently, actually. There was this party and I was talking to this guy who was really interesting. He was like looking through the records and whatever, through the music, and we were talking about music. And so afterwards I was telling my friend about this guy and I was like, oh yeah, and he was like this, he was like that. And afterwards my friend was like she realized who I was talking about, because this is my friend Mia, who I mentioned. She knows everyone. And she was like, oh, you're talking about Jess. Jess is a girl. And I had God. And this was like in front of a lot of the people who were at that party too. So God. I just normally I'm not that bad, but I swear, Jess, you could couldn't tell. Because she's got really short hair, really baggy jeans, leather jacket, and just... Anyway, what about you? Okay. Try not to laugh. Okay, next question. When did you last cry in front of another person or by yourself? When my grandmother died, probably. Cried a lot. Usually not in front of people, but in front of my ex, who I was dating at the time. Like, he was probably the other person who I let myself cry in front of. What about you? Yeah. 31. Tell your partner something that you like about them already. What? Really? You're really bright, and you have a really good heart, and that's kind of a rare combination. What do you think? God, I guess if I'm taking one thing out of this, it's that I gotta learn to take a compliment, huh? What, if anything, is too serious to be joked about? That varies from person to person. It just depends on where your personal demons are, you know? If someone's faced trauma, you don't joke about their trauma. If someone has history of some sort of illness, mental or physical, in their family, you don't joke about that. What do you think? Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. 33. If you were going to die this evening with no opportunity to communicate with anyone, what would you most regret not having told someone, and why? Why haven't I told them? I can't think of anything specific, but I guess generally not letting people in. Like, it's not like there's a specific thing that I want to tell a specific person, just this kind of open communication I don't get a lot, and I've been thinking over the course of this thing that maybe, I don't know, maybe that I should do that more with other people. What about you? The house containing everything you own catches fire. After saving your loved ones and pets, you have time to safely make a final dash to save any one item. What would it be and why? Gosh, this is gonna sound like such a typical, like, young person answer, but my laptop. Because it has everything I've worked on. All of my drawings have been scanned into my computer. Everything I write is on there. All of my art stuff is on there, you know? Especially, like, I do graphic art, so my laptop's pretty nice. And I like to be able to keep all that stuff, you know? How about you? Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. Of all the people in your family, whose death would you find the most disturbing, and why? Huh. You know, it's funny, I would think that my answer would be my dad because I'm closer to him, but actually it's my mom because she's like invincible, you know? sure she argued with my dad so much. And she's constantly working. She's always busy. The thought of her in a moment of weakness is just unthinkable. I don't know. What do you think? Hmm. Yeah. Last question. Share a personal problem and ask your partner's advice on how he or she might handle it. Also, ask your partner to seem to be feeling about the problem you've chosen. Okay. I mean, I guess because I've been thinking about how to open up stuff like this. Like, how do you even open this level of vulnerability with friends? But I don't know, do you think you could just ask questions like this to a friend? Just out of the blue like that? I figure like it'll work. Okay. We seem to be running out of time, but there's a last bit that we're supposed to do, which is stare into each other's eyes for 2 minutes. So, let's do that. 3, 2, 1.